Wih. Halo, halo, halo.
طالع ماشي نسكافيه.
Udah 6 menit ini. Keburu capek nunggu ini. Kita tidak punya tank. Sampah. Nice.
I've got a high tolerance for magic. Takes a lot for me to feel it.
Arabawi.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Masir.
I love walking. It sounds like thunder.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Damn it.
Minions have spawned.
It's supposed to be a symbol of what?
That
Not so
first blood.
sure.
Let's go back.
Must be some powerful magic around here. Just don't make always big enough. Big blast! Try moving 300 ton. Feel the praise! My wings, your thanks. Apparently I'm some sort of big deal.
Next time. Maybe not next time.
I fought a house once. I'm pretty sure I won. Have a fist!
An enemy has been slain.
Time for some fresh mortar. The best defense is me.
An enemy has been slain.
Very good, very good.
Looks red. So, what do you people do when you're not fighting? Right!
An enemy has been slain.
Everyone stay put. I'll be right back. Tragedy is worse when you can do nothing about it.
An ally has been slain.
I hate on the sound. Wanna go?
He's scared. Takot dia guys.
To plug my cracks. Who wants to get protected?
Who wants to get protected?
They made me to start magic, and yet it's gone. It's not easy. It looks like it.
Just keep pushing.
I fell in love with a crab beast once. Oh, wasn't meant to be.
An ally has been slain.
To your face! Vanish, and new ones take places. Let's move. I've got people to inspire.
Killing spree.
That builds into something.
He hits. Sino 5.
Rampage.
They say I'm made of petrocytes. I say I'm all guts. Majestic. Is that what I'm supposed to be?
An enemy has been slain. Killing spree.
Going to sleep means saying goodbye.
Nice, very nice.
Double kill.
What are you looking?
Whew.
Demacia calls. I like buying person things. Oh, mages. I love the way they swish. Smash.
Ally has been slain. Shut down. Rampage. Shut down. Godlike.
I remember this place.
30 lagi, 30 lagi. 20. Ah!
It's hard to be simple. You're a soul.
Turret rating will soon fall.
At last, a change of scenery.
Whatever yan.
My wings, your
Has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed. Your team has destroyed. Enemy has been slain. Legendary.
I haven't been to many places, so I might as well like this one.
Oh. Okay.
Time for some fresh water.
Bye.
Doesn't come with instructions.
Enemy has been slain.
I'm a big man with big needs.
Shut down.
We lost that one. Let's go fight something else.
Turretnya jagain, terus gimana jagain turret?
I sleep, I wake, I break things. Feel the praise. Storm of blades. Feels good to stretch my will.
Enemy killing spree. Your team has destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain.
He was pretty good, right? I wish mountains had wrists. That'd be a good fight.
An enemy has been slain.
You can take it.
An enemy has been slain.
It was nothing. Really?
I don't know why life chose me, but I'm glad it did. This never gets old.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
What should I break next? Get behind me!
Nice.
Been slain.
Nice, nice, nice.
Enemy has been slain.
How long was I out? I've seen much. Not sure I understand.
You have slain an enemy.
Nice.
Which way's the fun? One people here is 50 galleons. Big blast! I always wondered if that
Good job, guys.
everyone stay put.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I don't know what this is. I bet it's great, though. It's time to move. Shake off the moss. Somehow I always end up in the center of everything.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Kita kasih aja turret, nggak problem mo lah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Unstoppable.
You go.
Nice. Let's move on.
I eat magic.
Shut down.
To your face. I got the big guy.
You make money.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Can someone please
An
get
enemy
the
has
pictures
been
of
slain.
Oh, that's nice.
team has destroyed a turret. Has been slain. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Honor.
I love sneak.
Yuk, bisa yuk.
I didn't choose to come to life, but I definitely prefer it.
To the shadows with a
I love Demacia. It's the only place. I don't break easy. Wing blast! Excuse me, but which
Has been slain.
I wish they'd chisel me a friend. Someone who won't break.
An enemy has been slain.
Nice.
A worthy opponent.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Double kill. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Lead up to
Triple kill. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
into the sounds you love. Take
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Nih, kayaknya kita nonton ini deh. Nonton siapa namanya? Hari ini T1 main guys. Kayaknya kita nonton T1 aja deh. Iya nggak sih? Kita nonton T1 aja. Sepertinya akan lebih ramai karena
Starting with a whisper, I know I'll find it hard to lose. Counting down our waves, but I'll take way less time than that. I've been in the fire a million times, caught in between the truth and the lies. Can't hold me down for a minute.
sambil nunggu main, saya coba siapa yang main duluan kayak. Oh iya benar, T1 kayaknya main ya. Nih rame nih. Launching VFX TV. Wait. Bentar. Doran Guma Carrier. Ini siapa ya dia?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, LCK 2025. I'm Atlas, joined by Orcs, the AA broadcast here, but it wasn't supposed to be.
Oh.
It was supposed to be Brennan Valdez today. I stole his day away because I refused to not cast every Bro series this week. That was what it was. I was being a princess and I got my way. Sometimes it works out.
Yeah, it's good reasoning, honestly.
Yeah.
And a little bit poor form from Brendan to not demand that he cast at least one bro.
He didn't even really fight back. It's a little bit of a strange situation. That was obviously not actually what happened, but it's absolutely fine. It's also a public holiday here today in Korea as well, so that's pretty cool. We are obviously still at work because it doesn't really count as work here at the LCK because we have so much fun.
Yeah.
Especially given the fact that we have one heck of a matchup to bring you here for our very first one. We've saved this for the public holiday to make sure that everyone can watch Bro versus DNF. As you can see here, the Bros still at risk of being overtaken by DRX, but they have put some extra distance between themselves and DRX with DRX's loss the last couple of days.
And you know, this is now DNF's opportunity to play spoiler, which is, I feel like when teams really get powered up, when you bottom the table, when things look pretty dire, the pressure's off, and that's when we've seen teams, Bro have been one of those teams who, when they've been out, have ramped up as a result. And you'll see the record overall not being so hot for the Infreaks, even before their most recent run, where obviously they've been struggling in terms of form, but most of the time it has been close in the matchup.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that the last series where DNF basically won but then lost was the only time it was a 2-0. And honestly, I've never seen Bro have to work as hard as that in order to get a 2-0 in my life. One of the most gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching series that we have ever seen. It's probably going to go down in history as one of the greatest comebacks that we've ever seen. But in the moment, it was basically just depressing because, you know, unfortunately, DNF haven't come up with too many victories. Who shall triumph in the 2025 LCK Round 4 Modu matchup? And of course, both of these players were on HLE together when they made that incredible run to the top 8 of Worlds. Out of absolutely nowhere. It was a weird roster that had Chovy on it. So it sort of didn't make very much sense that we're talking about it like they're coming from behind, but still.
I also think it's good timing for the matchup, because I think Morgan's form has been pretty fantastic recently. He's been on a big upswing, but also Dudu in the recent matches has been a lot better. And I think particularly showing some good show form, especially in that matchup that they won up against DRX. So I'm hoping for a bit of a banger in the top lane.
Yeah, I actually think that there are some really interesting matchups kind of across the board. Hype and Berserker, both of them having, I believe, played off against one another in Challenger quite a bit when it was KT versus T1 back like a couple of years ago at least. So certainly some players that are going to be meeting up. Also, I feel like Kroko and Purshik sort of started at a very similar time as well. Both of them taking some time off to explore the world and then finding their way back to Korea after that.
And we are going to be having Quantum starting. He did start as well in their last matchup, and they brought life into game 2 and he had a fantastic game 2. So it feels like they kind of just, you know, again, they are out of the competition at this point. They cannot make it through to play-ins. So just kind of giving Quantum some time, swap in between. But both of them have had some pretty great games recently.
Yep, may as well do some experimentation here as Morgan kind of feeling like the best of the Rise group, especially when you have a look at some of these stats. Kind of ridiculous what he's been able to do here, and I'm looking at the isolated deaths being less than half of what Dudu has put up, being an important thing to look at here, as Morgan has just been pretty stable there towards the top side of the map.
Yeah, honestly, and to be fair, I will say on the other side, you know, Dudu doing a pretty good job. You can see the early stats, the CSD at 15, the gold at 15, pretty high, kind of telling for how DNF the early games do go, but hard to have good stats when you are on the bottom team. But I think Dudu definitely has had some better performances, so going up against, as you said, best of the Rise group right now in that top lane, but Morgan definitely having the edge with current form at the moment.
Yep, I would agree. And I think that the isolated death stat is largely because teams have noticed that Dudu isn't that bad, and so they target him, and they try and catch him in side lanes over and over again. And honestly, I feel like a lot of people get caught in side lanes in DNF series. It doesn't exactly, the late game macro isn't necessarily under control.
It's been
DNF. Let's just say that.
It's been a struggle. It's been a struggle, you know, and I'm hoping it doesn't rear its head, and yet I know that regardless of what happens, if DNF come out and they win this series, there's going to be some shenanigans when we get to the later stages, because that's just, it's a hallmark of how their series goes. But I think some of the things that have been a little bit difficult for DNF definitely has been translating. So I think important to make sure that Berserker's on a pick where he is really reliable in the later stages and he's able to be one of those big, more hyper carry focused picks. I think they've struggled when they put him on picks where, you know, he doesn't have as much agency, or, you know, maybe get an early lead but he can't really finish off the game. So, you know, we've seen him have great performances on picks like Yanara. We've seen when he's on picks like Sivir where, you know, it does have that potential in the 5v5s.
Well, let's see who it's going to be that can pick this one up this time around. The Bros have beaten every single team except B&K. In fact, 100% win rate. If you take the B&K series out of Bros match history, they have not lost a single series.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. So maybe if you just took Busan out of the list of teams, right? Every team that's not from Busan, they've been able to get 100% win rate against. Maybe it's, you know, that southern coastal city that's the downfall of the Bros.
Yeah.
That salty air.
So if you were wondering how would Bro have done at the road to MSI, probably badly.
Yeah, not so great. That's why they skipped it.
Yeah.
That's why they decided that they weren't going to be there, GigaChat. That's exactly how they work things out. Make sure, by the way, to pay your bro tax. You may have seen that I did it in the middle of the broadcast. It's why perhaps I wasn't actively listening to Orcs as well as I could have been. But
Yeah,
that's okay.
That's why.
Bro tax takes precedent,
No, I get
okay?
it. I understand it. It's a valid reason.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that I'm listening from now on, I promise.
Yeah, I'm totally sure you will be. At least you have an excuse for not listening this time, you know. Sometimes you saw something interesting, there was something shiny.
Yeah, shiny things do tend to catch my eye. That is a very good point. But I will do my very best to listen. I think it should be part of my
We've
job.
tried to limit the amount of shiny things around the Caster Blanc, but obviously technology doesn't bite shiny things, so
Yeah.
it's hard to completely rule them out.
I had to really fight to get my my tablet up here because they were like, no, it's a bit too shiny. Who knows what you could have on that thing?
Who
Yeah,
knows?
it's problematic.
Yeah, it is definitely problematic.
Vitamin.
Well, we do have a couple of junglers being banned away here as the Pantheon not going to get through this time around. The Vi also going to be taken away once again, this time on the blue side. It's kind of interesting because I feel like Croco has been one of our better Vi players. The Orianna has really been creeping up into first ban status, but now we've got this weird Varus, Azir, Talia situation, and the
Yeah.
Bros get to choose.
We've seen Orianna really commonly banned against DM Freaks. I think a lot of people respected that Ori Nocturne combo that they were running for a while.
Ah,
But
Yunara's up.
instantly,
Never mind.
Yunara slammed down. Is going to get answered though with the Varus, it seems, by DM Freaks. So a pick that can obviously punish you out in lane and also outrange you in the later stages. Looks like they're not definitely going to lock that in now. They're looking at the Azir for Bulldog, which is his most played pick. Even with the Talia available, I think they'll probably just go for this one. And I think Azir, definitely something they'll have to prioritize. You could just go Azir and then a jungler, and then go on that third pick, the Varus. Looks like they'll just take the Varus in this situation. Yep, Trundle is available though, and that's something Pyrrhic's heavily prioritized and would be good into all the junglers left available.
Yeah, this is the thing. I feel like Trundle has kind of skyrocketed in priority, especially looking at what we have right here. I think Trundle is kind of annoying for Yunara to deal with at the same time, so maybe Croco just locks that away here.
This says to me that the Infix are a little concerned about maybe Bro locking a top laner here, and if they left the Varus till 3, they wouldn't be able to answer. Like if they'd gone like Azir, Trundle, Varus on 3, couldn't respond, could be problematic. Maokai ends up coming.
We're Maokai Yuneing. That's just what we're going to do.
I mean, this is a lot of aggressive team fight power, you know.
Closer
you have
on
this long-range
Yone.
backline for the side of the DM Freaks, who can obviously apply a lot of poke pressure. But, I mean, Bro are just looking to charge you down and explode you. And I think the Trundle coming out here makes a lot of sense. The Pillar can obviously do a moderate job of disrupting some of this and kiting away, but also making that first target, if the Maokai does come in, that much squishier.
Yep. Not the most massive value into the Maokai as it would have been in other years, because he does like to build a fair bit of AP these days.
Yeah, I also feel like he can be quite non-committal. You know, if you have a lot of other tanks, you have to lead the charge, get in. Maokai can kind of just ult from a distance and play it safer. But it definitely feels like these comps both have a theme they've lent towards and sort of goals for how they're going to play out the team fight. And now it's really about the picks that will sort of consolidate that and leaning towards those. Still no looking towards the top laners though.
Yep.
Gwen will be banned out by the DM Freaks, which I think makes a lot of sense, because with all that diving forwards, these threats coming through, a Gwen on top of that would just be such a nightmare to deal with.
Not to mention the fact that the Bros can just ban the Aurora, and then they can choose either the Gwen or the Rumble, depending on whether that's going to be banned away here by the DN Freaks. I wouldn't even be surprised if DN Freaks do just take away the Rumble, just because Red Side Rumble, all those shenanigans. Not going to be preferable, but the Rumble's actually going to be banned on blue, which is kind of odd here. It's going to be eliminating that option. I'm very interested in what Morgan's going to be playing. Maybe he just goes back to the Croc. Maybe it's just time to be an ancient reptile in the top lane.
Yeah, it's interesting what angle DM Freaks might take here, because, I mean, the Aurora is still open as an option. I feel like Morgan has played the Aurora a lot himself, also played a lot of tanks, so I feel like he's got a fair amount of
Renekton.
options.
Kok nggak ada yang
The
nge-ban
Ambassador comes
Renekton?
out as a ban.
Okay. We are really getting to the bottom of the barrel here as far as the top lane is concerned, and I'm expecting that Dudu's just going to play Cassante. I don't know why. I just feel like that's going to be the way. And this could definitely be a Rakan angle here for Quantum as well, if they do want to lock that one away. Otherwise, they hold on to that counter pick and they take something for Dudu, and he can play a tank.
I mean,
so the Scion's going to be the option.
if they go the Scion here, I feel like Morgan's pretty fine with it.
Oh yeah, it's just
Scion
Cho'Gath,
Dudu.
He
isn't
can
it?
go the Cho'Gath, he can go the Aatrox. Yeah, I feel
Kalah
he's pretty
ini sih.
comfortable into this, so I don't think he's really too afraid playing into the Scion. Instead, they
I
go for
like
Rel.
this. I think it's safer.
Yep, I think you don't give the information over to Morgan. Quantum, his first match when he came in the LCK was on this role and he had a really good performance. And with the Alistar gone as well, I don't think there's too many matchups you're going to be that uncomfortable on with the Rel.
Yeah.
Well,
Counter
we're going to see what Polo's going to be playing first by the looks of things. Of course, Morgan does need to blind pick something. Why do I feel like it's going to be Gnar? That's a Xerath. I don't think that's what's going to be happening here on the bottom side, but it is going to be the Nautilus. Hype just messing with us a little bit here. And now, please, Lord, show us what you will be playing. What do you think it's going to be? Is it just going to blind Aatrox? Something like that?
No.
I feel like you could get put in a
Renekton.
comfortable position if you do that.
Yeah.
Kayaknya sih.
Aatrox, Gnar, or Renekton are my
Renekton.
expectations.
See?
It's going to be the
Yeah.
Renekton.
I think the Renekton feels... I think Morgan's obviously very confident on it, and I think it's unlikely that Dudu's going to bring something out that's going to be that bad of a matchup.
Yep.
But I think it was the right call from the Freaks putting the Scion last, because otherwise Morgan would have taken a matchup like the Aatrox, like the Cho'Gath, that would have been a lot more comfortable. And instead, Morgan's blinding, and now I think Dudu's in a much more comfortable spot. And I think ultimately the Freaks been pretty happy with what they got. The big sort of elephant in the room is the Yunara, right? Really powerful pick that, if unchecked, can be a massive problem. But the DM Freaks composition, you have the Varus, right? Who outranges it quite hard. The Azir can be pretty problematic to deal with. Bro really need to close the distance with that composition, and they definitely have tools to do so, but I think both compositions interact in different ways, and it really comes down to the execution. If DM Freaks get a lead, and if they don't do a traditional DM Freaks fumble, this is definitely winnable, but you know, those are big ifs.
Yeah, there's a lot of ifs and buts. I also think that Croco and Closer are on a pretty dynamic duo here in the Maokai Yone. It's something that we often look to when the bros are playing. Will that 1-2 punch of the mid jungle actually make things happen? And there is certainly potential there. You know.
Iklan. Iklan.
Here in the LCK, but it has slipped through. But basically everything has. Trundle, Azir, and Varus all on the red side here is kind of ridiculous. And so we'll see whether the bros can overcome it with just the Yunara as their massive power pick that they bring into this one. It's Pro versus DNF though. Does the draft even matter? Let's get into it.
Siapa nih yang bakal menang nih?
My goodness. DNF fans are absolutely deafening here in Lol Park today. Even though they have been eliminated, they cannot make it to the play-in stage. This round robin will be the final one for this team, or at least, you know, the next little mini round robin that we have. Round 5 is going to be the last one.
I just think it's so cool. They just never stopped. They just never stopped showing up.
Yep.
Never stopped just enjoying.
It's not about faith. It's just about loving this team.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And once again, DNF have a pretty nice scaling composition. You would say that the Varus isn't necessarily the hardest scaling, but we have seen Lethality Varus actually do some decent things in the late game. And as we've already mentioned, there's not really true tanks on Bro's side. That would be difficult to manage into the Trundle anyway. So probably still going to get a bunch of value. That being said, they had Senna, Scion, Azir, and lost to Bro at like 50 minutes.
Yeah.
With a massive gold lead. So
always,
like, it doesn't really matter.
There's always caveats. You can never be sure of anything when it comes to a matchup like this. So
I'm sure that someone's Nexus will explode at the end of this game. That's as far as I'm going to go, though.
fairly safe bet, you know.
And then obviously we get Chrono Break, and actually it's a remake or something like that, and this game isn't even included.
Yeah.
That's that could be a thing. Do you remember there was that one game where it was like the most incredible early game that Canyon has ever played on Trundle, but then we had to remake it, and the game just was lost, was gone forever.
I don't think I do. But
yeah, that was a thing that happened.
Yeah. But I'm not sure what happened level 1. It looked like Quantum got chunked out by Polu, and Polu also has Ignite, so...
Oh dear. Quantum's in a lot of trouble. Hype chasing after them. Activates the Q, but still a fair bit of damage back here from Berserker. Polu getting his eye in with these anchors though, and it is pretty scary. Look at this huge stack of minions as well that DNF will have to deal with, as Hype and Polu with so much control of this lane.
I mean, so much pressure being applied. Polu doing a great job, and again, the Ignite into heal is so much more combat power. You get low, the Ignite reducing the healing just means you're liable to die. I actually honestly think he could have ignited Quantum there. And I'm not sure if Quantum would have died, but he certainly would have had to recall, but he's holding it. It's very clear that Polu isn't wanting just to force a recall, he wants a kill.
Yeah, there's another hook connecting. The Ignite, like you were talking about, is going to go down.
Importantly though, Quantum healed before the Ignite.
Yeah.
So
and Hype hit the Slurkle as well, which was pretty cool. Did you see that when he hit the Slurkle?
Yeah. Is that what it's called now?
Yeah, that's what it's called now, because it's a slowing circle.
Interesting.
And what we do is we combine those two words, and it turns into Slurkle.
Okay. That does make me a little uncomfortable.
I know, doesn't it? Because I don't even really know why it makes you uncomfortable, you know? Because it is just word fusion of two very common words.
Yeah.
Okay? It shouldn't make anyone uncomfortable, but it does.
It does.
That's what makes it so good. Okay, that's enough talking about Slurkle for at least the next 2.5 minutes.
Oh, because I know you're so good at just dropping things and not bringing them up again, and again and again.
And all of those promises that I've made to you as well.
Yeah.
Where I've said, no, we're not going to talk about tempo vibes again.
Yeah.
And then it only is the only thing that I talk about for the remainder
I'm sure Slurkle won't be a thing. I'm sure it's not going to get brought up like 76 more times over the course of today.
Yeah, I admit, whenever Yunara is played, I will talk about Slurkle, because I just think it's fantastic. And I don't want to, what is it, like Arc of Judgment or something weird that just doesn't really work?
Arc of the Covenant?
Yeah, it's Arc of the Covenant. I think that's what the ability is actually called. And I just don't, it is Arc of Judgment. And it sounded like it didn't make sense enough for me to not even think that it's correct. So instead, it's now Slurkle.
Okay.
Whether you like it or not, Ox. All right, Closer is down to 200 health. He's going to go back. And even in farm completely with Bulldog here, so doing a pretty good job on the Yone. And I don't know whether I think his last Yone game was a little hit or miss, if I remember correctly. So I think Closer is going to be doing a little bit of trying to redeem himself in this game.
Yeah, and I think into a situation like this, a lot of... I mean, to be fair, if you get hit by something like the Varus ult, you can just kind of get exploded, but all you have to do is connect that ult onto either Bulldog or Berserker, and you're kind of golden. You know, there's so much value to be gained. Even if you don't kill them, just locking them up, getting a good amount of damage in will get so much value. But surviving the lane, you know, even though obviously Yone picked a lot into his ear, a lot of the early laning in most Yone into range matchups is just weathering the storm, getting to the early levels.
Another hook connects here onto Quantum as Hype fighting Berserker here. The Slurkle lands. It's a beautiful cleanse, and he needed it because otherwise he was going to die. Hype still with that summoner spell available as Polu is getting so much value out of this Ignite, keeping it on cooldown. You love to see it. Closer not going to be worried about being put in the kennel.
And it just feels like constantly Brove had the pressure in this matchup.
Well, the flash forward from Quantum, the cleanse flash to get Hype out of there, and Polu is just chasing Berserker down. First blood, and Polu is taking matters into his own hands, picks up a double on the Nautilus. Oh man, and we have been critical of Polu. Not today. Today, he's truly the president.
Huge win there for Bro. Pureshik was in the vicinity heading on up to provide the backup, but an overstep from the DNF bot lane backfires massively. Both of them going down. The only minor, tiny consolation prize is that Polu was the one who got the kills. But this ends up backfiring massively, and Quantum goes for the play, but Hype has both sums, doesn't even get hit by the hail of arrows there, and Berserker, Polu follows him and just beats him down.
Yep. And then has the passive in order to stun up this Rel at the same time. Yeah, Duke pretty happy about that one. Oh, the double claps as well, as Polu manages to lock it down. He wasn't thinking about the support getting a double kill. He was thinking about his team getting 2 kills in this early game and getting themselves a 700 gold lead.
I mean, having an early lead in a Yunara lane against a Varus, and a Yunara who bought a cull, you're just feeling so good.
Oh, yeah. And now the fact that this is right when Polu gets unlocked as well. Whenever he turns up in a lane, like he's got a Kindle gem sort of just chilling there. Hasn't really got a big item lead, as it turns out, against Quantum. But
I mean, he has the boots and the cloth. I mean, that's something that's
right. I mean,
like,
that's exactly the lead, in fact, in Gold, so
that's something that's always, obviously you'd rather have these kills in the Yunara because you'll get it towards a late game snowballer sooner. But in terms of like early impact, the gold on the support, he's going to be roaming about. He's going to be present in a lot more plays. He's going to be a bit tankier. And again, I'm not saying you'd rather have it on Polu, but that gold isn't useless that it's on the support.
He can also transfer that gold better in the early game, like you're saying. But it will take Polu having to get out there, make stuff happen. Great interrupt there from Morgan onto Dudu, but Dudu not really too worried about it. He's got, Balmy Cinder as well as that Bramble Vest. He's pretty happy with how things are right now. But probably not super happy about the couple of kills that Bro have been able to pick up. Feats of Warfare, just 1 away. Is this Drake getting on in age just a little bit?
Yeah, you see, Croc actually took 2 of the grubs, then moved down just to defend his own red buff from Pioshik. But Pioshik didn't go for the dragon in return, so Bro managed to get an objective. No real major trade other than those Raptors on the bot side, and it just feels like another big win for Bro. And again, you know, if you look at the series scoreline, yeah, Bro much more favored against DNF, but DNF normally have the edge in the early game, normally come out ahead there, and then it's later where we see them struggle. Right now, they're struggling already, and it's not a great trend for them based on how typically things tend to go.
Yeah, I'm putting that in the cons column directly here. As Morgan with full health, feeling pretty happy. Roar of the Slayer and the Q combo here from Dudu. Gonna be all right.
Morgan actually denying the cannon there. Very sad for the Scion.
Yeah, not great. Well, Pioshik is finally going to come down and look for this Drake, as Polu can get a ward in and then even immediately come on over and be frustrating. But as you can see, there is lane control for the Varus. So not going to be diving on in with any blast cones or anything like that. Croco just going to let this dragon go. Not too worried about a singular ocean this time around, as nice stun out from Morgan. Does get knocked up by the Q. There is the Soul Furnace as well, doing a lot of work, as Morgan gets hit by another Q there as well. So the Scion doing a pretty good job here in this top lane. And now let's see what Hype can do. Quantum with the Magnet Storms, pretty good, but another cleanse does come out. There's a double knockoff, but Pioshik is going to come in, and Polu, I don't think he's going to make anything happen here. He's just going to be taken down. There's a kill on the board for DNF.
Really easy gank there coming in. You know, they also get the cleanse from Hype. The CC setup forces it. So a return play before that's up and available will be very easy to make, but there's just nothing really Polu can do. Nautilus into Trundle feels so bad because, you know, the tankier support anyway, so when you get ulted by him, you just become paper. But also, one of the best ways to escape as a Nautilus is to hook terrain, but the pillar just blocks that.
Well, Hype being pretty aggressive here towards the bottom side of the map, as Polu made his way back very, very quickly, as you certainly can do with this unsealed spellbook. So the Bros continuing to have a fair bit of pressure down here. Pioshik does have that Sundered Sky now completed. First item spike for the Trundle is pretty nice. Still getting towards the Leandries for Croco. I think the Bros pretty fine with how things are going at this point in time. Just want to be able to find that next kill, lock in those Feats of Warfare, make stuff happen. As Morgan getting aggressive towards Dudu here. And not too much else going to really occur. Dudu just pretty happy to get some grasp stacks, I think.
Yeah. I feel like that's the vibe when you're playing a tank in the top lane. You know, a matchup like Renekton, you just get some grass stacks, chilling out, scaling up, a little back and forth. As long as you're not dying, you're having a good time.
Yep, you're playing a different game than the champion that has Conqueror, you know?
Yeah, I just feel like it's...
You just want number to go up.
It's that vibe of the Renekton just like trying to force, trying to make things happen, really being really aggressive. very angry in your face,
Yeah.
and the sound just like,
Bonk.
yeah, vibe it.
That's
Amplified
that's
if you have Heartsteel. But yeah, here, I mean, it's Polu ends up walking up here, but Berserker lands the ult on Hype and sidesteps the Dredge line. And then here, Pyoshik's really patient with the pillar, and it just means there's no way that Polu was able to get out. Eventually just put it down, but just to block away Hype from the situation.
Oh, I think he managed to get the cannon that time around. Managed to roar the minion all the way through. That feels pretty good there for Dudu. He's still down about 10 CS. It's not really too much of a big deal, to be perfectly honest. Probably moving towards his mid lane, as Berserker and Quantum are already parked. And let's see what Croco's going to do. Does, of course, have level 8, so the Nature's Grasp going to be available. Hasn't quite found an angle for it just yet. 2 minutes until the Cloud Drake. Soul, I assume, is probably going to be Chemtech. That's just how things are. As Morgan slicing and dicing and acting all cool.
He said that in a very judgy way. Oh.
Okay, bit of a fight here in this mid lane. Is Polu just going to flash away? Anchors to the wall.
Yeah.
Bro, not necessarily winning these trades, as Pyoshik has just kind of parked himself with the DNF bottom lane.
I think, honestly, that was a situation where Polu should have died. I think the pillar maybe thrown out a bit early. They knew he had flash. They knew he was back up from when they last took it, so I think they could have been patient with the flash. And once, like, he kind of had to use it to dodge away from Quantum's ult. It's one of those situations where they threw a bit too many things, so his flash got too much value.
Yeah.
And he obviously does end up flashing out, and they still get a summoner, but a kill would have been even nicer there.
True. Still, see what they can do. As now moving down towards his bottom side of the map. In comes Pyoshik, throws down the kennel. I don't think they're too interested in a dive, especially with Nautilus and Maokai on their way down.
Yeah. Do you have, it's now a minute till that Dragon Knight you mentioned, but also the Herald up in a minute, so I think 2 major objectives up and available. At this point though, Berserker really in a strong position, has that Ghostblade up and available, compared to the Inara, who's still really coming online.
Oh, might be able to pick something up here though, because she just finished the cull, so a fair bit of money in the coffers here for Hype, who does
Probably
just
boots,
completes, completes the shoes.
I mean, it's still decent, right? You're not useless by any means. But I think Berserker definitely going to be able to get prio in mid lane. And also, if you land some big poke here, it can make a big difference. And there's no one really who can just soak. I mean, you're not really soaking poke from Varus. There's no way to do that. But, like, there's no one who can walk up and take piercing arrows for free, right?
Yep.
I guess Polu can soak one with his Celestial opposition. But he will shred basically anyone.
Well, you've got Pyoshik and Bulldog just beating down this turret. That is just gone. Really nicely played. The Nature's Grasp is going to come through for the attempted punish. There's the Sun Disc going to be put up as Emperor's Divide comes down. Bulldog still not out of the woods just yet, as the depth charge is going to lock him up. And they've taken 1 kill. Croco looking a bit worse for wear though, as Morgan sidesteps the Q. And there's a nice double knock off the ulti to follow there from Closer. Looking fantastic on the Yone this time as he flashes towards Dudu. He does get knocked up, but he's still pretty tanky on this Scion. Another Q going to connect, but the Soul Furnace is going to be back as Pyoshik going to be flashing away. Hype flashes forward to get the kill on to the Trundle. The Arc of Ruin there does a fair bit of work towards Berserker, but he is safe under the turret. A big win for the Bros as they lock down the feats of warfare and grab so many extra kills.
Huge overcommit there from DNF onto the tower, and the thought process was, hey, if we get a tower, we have the Azir tower to come up and give us protection, but it just doesn't do that much. You see it here, they're like, okay, let's just play around it, but you actually see it just doesn't do that much damage. And so in the situation, like, Closer's under there hitting Bulldog, you can see Polu was tanking it for a bit. It's just not really that threatening compared to an actual tower.
Yeah.
And so DNF realized, okay, we actually kind of have to leave, there's too many members there. Then they kind of get caught in the mixer, they're getting chased down, and it just ends up in a situation where too many people move down and try and defend. So now instead of just, you know, getting the tower, maybe losing 1 person, you're losing more and more members. Hype's getting kills as well.
Yep, massive Slurkle value as you saw there.
Oh yeah, huge Slurkle. And they get the Dragon as well, and it just turns into a massive disaster for DNF. Bro, very quick to respond, and also just not really respecting the Azir turret, and right not to do so.
Yeah, it's well played by the Bros. And now, looking to see what they can do about stopping this Rift Herald. Has been started up here by Pyoshik, not exactly full commit as the kennel does come down. Pyoshik getting down low, the flash out from Croco. will be respecting it, but now looking for the re-engage as the Nature's Grasp comes down. It does manage to find Quantum, who only has to really deal with a Slurkle as a result. And now Dudu making his way in. DNF committing to this fight, but Dudu off to the side, does charge the Q, but doesn't get the knock-up onto Closer, is now Hype doing so much work. As Quantum down to 50%, Morgan dives in and will be able to stun up the Rel. Hook connects onto Pureshik. Empress Divide is decent as Morgan will be going down, but it's a double for Closer on the back end of the fight, and Hype is still there, laying down the damage. Closer looking for even more, but I think he'll have to go back to that soul pretty soon. And Dudu will survive, but still a massive win for the Bros once again.
Such good team fighting there from the Bros. They split off DNF. They deny Dudu's flank. They force Berserker away. And then they just beeline for the rest of the team. And they find a great angle there and get another big lead. We see here, so Dudu, look at this angle. Both Hype and Closer just say, no, clear off. This is our side of the map. You can't come over here. And the rest of the team start moving forward, start posing a threat. So Hype and Closer start to move in. They force Berserker here. Hype does to flash over the wall. And then the rest of the team move forwards.
Oh,
they find this great engage. Hype is there for the follow-up. And Berserker can't really do anything off to the side. Dudu was already chunked out. Just great execution, and Closer finding a fantastic angle. This is definitely the redemption he needed for that on that Yone.
Exactly right. That 3-man ulti, just magnificent out of this guy. And I think it's a really good day to have Wolf on the space, because he can tell you about how this is the year of Closer. Because I think this week, maybe it actually is. Yeah. Last week, it was a little bit less obvious.
We can settle for the weaker Closer, at least.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes it's about exaggeration. You know, you need to have a bit of that exaggeration. And so I'm happy to say that it's the year of Closer, even if it is maybe only just the week. Still, Quantum does manage to at least finish an item. It's Zeke's Convergence, so it's not quite as valuable as what Polo has put together, the 2-1-4 Nautilus. And it's 8-2, man. Like, the Bros are really starting to run away with this, and the really worrying part of it is the fact that their composition just really does love this time of the game.
Yeah. I mean, also, you know, I feel like the fact that the bot lane didn't really go well, the fact that the Berserker, you know, this is when he should be strong, but Hype is just in a great position. Closer has a lead, and it just feels like they're in a really rough spot. I mean, Hype is so strong already.
Yeah.
He's approaching a second item.
Yeah, Renaissance is going to be finished very, very soon. So DNF need to be really careful. Look at Hype, he's just walking into the enemy jungle, because the Bros have so much control, so much vision all over this map.
Full confidence.
Yep. 50 seconds until that Infernal Drake that the Bros are laying down vision for. And I think they will have enough control to be able to take their second dragon of the game. Pretty late one as far as third Drake's concerned, so we're not even towards soul points just yet, as Morgan and Dudu just continuing to fight one another. It's not really going to eventuate in very much, guys. But they do hit each other a lot with buttons.
Good hitting.
Yeah.
You know? Actually getting the Phantom Dancer coming up from Hype, so not going
Morgan just bypassing Dudu completely to get a cheeky auto attack on this turret. Not too much more going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, Bro feels so confident now. They just finished second item on Closer and Hype. We obviously have second item on Bulldog and Berserker, but they haven't finished their boots. And I think these spikes for Closer and Hype feel really good. So I think you just have to give up the Dragon in this situation for DNF. The thing is, it's still a long way for Soul for Bro, so it's not too much of a concern, but definitely not a fantastic feeling.
No, I think that this one isn't, you know, worth losing the game over. So
there'll be other dragons to lose the game over. Don't you worry.
Exactly. As Berserker going to get slurkled, but otherwise not too worried. And that is just the Drake going down. Oh, 3,000 gold. The approximate lead here for the Bros. And DNF trying to figure out what to do next. Their comp front to back is going to feel okay as this game goes on. The problem is the way the Bros have been playing out these fights has just been better.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the problem as well is that DNF would love to have control of an area, get set up, you know, force Bro to come into them and land poke. But I feel like with Bro having control, DNF are going to have to push in constantly, and it exposes you to flanks, it exposes you to walking into saplings, things like that. and it's just not a really comfortable position to be in. You can see Bro already setting up on this top side of the map. It is Atakan up and available, but also Baron coming up in a few minutes. So if you maintain this control here, even if you don't get the Atakan, it sets up for the Baron that's spawning later on.
Yep, it also means that if DNF ever start Atakan, then they could, if they then lose a fight, it's Atakan into Baron into probably just game over.
Yeah.
So it's so incredibly risky to be up there, but they have to, because they have to try and stop Bro from just taking the Atakan for free. It's a really worrisome position.
Man, these saplings are hitting.
Yeah. And that's 2 items on Croco as well, and he did not stop building damage.
Yeah.
As Morgan also, he's hit too, as the Spirit Surgeon does come in. Hook gonna go wide here from Polo. Kind of crazy that the hitbox didn't quite work out there, as somehow it's a double snare from the Nature's Grasp. Probably gonna have to flash away because that one is not really what he wanted. Hype able to dash out of the Scion ulti.
Okay, I mean, this was pretty good. They managed to get some summoners. They managed to get a kill. They get the TP from Morgan as well.
Ult down on Hype as well. So for the next little while, that is something they're not going to have to worry about quite as much. Still doing a fair bit of damage. Went Phantom Dancer, actually. Not the Runans like I was expecting.
Oh, nice pillar.
Yep. Beautiful stop on the Rift Herald. Not going to find any HLE value off that one.
Yeah, so I mean, still in a deficit, but those were some good moves from DNF, and it's things like that, just mitigating the pressure, finding a little advantage, that'll make a big difference. And particularly, you know, the kill on Polo isn't the most meaningful thing. I will say that Dredgeline did look like a hit, and then the double root, very unfortunate.
Yeah, that I feel like the double root shouldn't have hit, but the Dredgeline should have hit.
Yeah.
And the punishment on the Magnet Storm being on cooldown just wasn't really there.
Yeah, I don't think Bro really in position, but they felt like we're strong, we should punish this, but end up overstepping. But I think the main thing for me is the fact that there's now flash down on Crocker and Polu, and they're both very squishy when you're really thinking about it, especially into a Trundle. And that's a bit of a window for DNF. If they find like a Varusol onto one of them, a pick like that can really make such a big difference, you know, so maybe a little bit more hope than we had before. And I think just finding angles like that are what they need. Also the TP being down on Morgan means if something does happen on the top side, I think it kind of makes Bro feel a lot more uncomfortable about starting the Atakan, given that their top laner has to, you know, find Prio, move over. That being said, he does now have Prio and is moving over, so that is the window if you want to lean towards it. But Dudu is able to respond, and it looks like Morgan isn't really too committal on playing towards the top side.
It's also going to mean, you know, mid control is going to be there for DNF. You saw they managed to get that wave shoved. But yeah, DNF just, they can't start this. Closer is just going to start hitting it. I don't know whether that's really going to eventuate in very much of anything at all, as Morgan and Dudu continue to fight.
I think some players, especially some champions, you know, you have sustain on your nate. It's just like a little compulsion. You know, you walk by it, you want to give it a little love tap.
Yep, sometimes you just want to hit something. And that's precisely what he's going to do. And now DNF 5 strong here in the mid lane as Polo looking for a bit of a hook angle, finds a minion. That's not exactly what he wants as the Nature's Grasp comes down. Bulldog just out of position as Morgan is chasing after him, doesn't find the dice as there is the hook combo out from Polo onto Pioshik as the exhaust does come through. Dudu the first one to fall, and the front line is now missing for DNF. The Bros, I think they got what they wanted as they now look to push out the mid lane.
Great angle there from Morgan on the flank. Now DNF should be able to defend their tower. Fortunately, they still have the TP on Dudu, so he's going to be alive in time for that dragon spawn up, but you give up a lot of control. Crocco's clearing out the vision. If he starts to get saplings up in the area, it's going to be pretty painful trying to contest this. Watch how Morgan plays this. It's actually so beautifully done. The CC comes on Apollo, but he cleanses. But Morgan goes in, gets the stun, and then actually dashes away to dodge the ult.
Oh, that was beautifully done.
So well played. And he obviously doesn't manage to stick on Bulldog and kill him, but because he forced him away, forced DNF to respond, it gives the rest of his team free range just to kill Dudu. So really nice flank from him there. Now, Bro have control over the area. DNF a TP and Dudu in to try and contest.
Yep, Quantum looking for a bit of an angle here. As you can see, it's slightly split for the Bros. Once again, a flank angle for Morgan, but it is going to get watched out for as there's the exhaust onto Closer. Not really a full commit here, as Dudu just taking a lot of free damage for the moment. Another double knockup from the Q, and the instant ulti from Closer just says good night. The interrupt! This guy's Yone today is just something else, as Hype is looking to keep them at bay. That is soul point for the Bros. Oh, maybe it's actually the decade of Closer. Maybe the year wasn't enough.
I'm ready to call it, man. That was so clean. Getting the 2 with the ult and then interrupting the dash from Bulldog, taking him out.
I don't even think he needed to do that. It was already good enough.
And yet he did, you know, just rubbing it in, establishing that he's on form right now today. They'll get the Dragon, they'll get the Baron, they'll get the Atakan. And it's looking like they're gonna get the game 1 as well. Yeah, 7-0-2 right now on the Shone.
I said it wrong before because I was like, oh, it should be Atakan into Baron into game over. But no, it was Dragon into Baron into Atakan and then game over. As now it is a 7.5k gold lead. And let's have a look at it from Closer's perspective yet again. The double knock up, the ulti, instant just death of the front line. And then, like, this did not need to happen, but it was so beautifully done.
It's just an ankle breaker, you know. That's the sort of thing that when it happens, it's not just the fact that, like, it's a sick play, but also from the other side, on the receiving end, it's a tilt. It feels bad to be on the receiving end. You're like, man.
It's like, dude, you already won the team fight. You didn't need to do that to me.
Yeah, I was dashing over the wall. And now, I mean, the lead is massive, right? And we've seen DNF struggle in these later game situations. There wasn't a game to throw in this situation. It's been Bro in control throughout, and now they have so many things in their favor. The Dact is firmly stacked towards Bro. They're establishing control. They're not stepping up too far, though. They are trying to just play around the fact they have this pressure from closing the side lane. You can see DNF moving.
Yeah.
Hard to pin down a Yone, though.
We're going to try and catch him as the ulti gets Closer out of there. That has been deadly in these fights, though, so a big cooldown to now be used up. Still, the Bros get a lot out of it. They take down this mid-outer turret finally, as the Blast Cone is going to evacuate Quantum and Pureshik.
Yeah, I will say, level 16, the ult cooldown.
Yeah, it's not massive.
Amount, so it won't be too long before it's up and available. And the team is now pushed forwards, establishing more vision. So Closer just needs to be a little bit more patient, and they should be able to start knocking on these tier 2 towers. DNF, though, you know, something I talked about before was burning summoners, being able to punish targets without those, but a lot back up and available. Now looking, though, for hype.
Yeah, Pureshik looking for the angle. That Arc of Ruin was doing so much damage. I did kind of want to call it budget extendo beam, but I've seen extendo beams do less damage than that.
That was pretty high budget, you know.
That was pretty high budget.
That's when you set a budget and you just overspend ridiculously, and you're like, there's no way we're making money on this.
Yeah. I think this was a poor financial decision.
But it did look cool.
It certainly did. As this inner turret will stay alive for the moment. Berserker and Bulldog going to be able to save that. But Morgan up there by himself, taking the inner turret in the top lane. 3,000 gold lead for the Crocodile. Morgan having a pretty good time today. As, yeah, Closer and Dudu fighting one another, and Closer feeling pretty happy about it. 3 items complete on this Yone.
And I feel like just Bro aren't giving real windows. It feels like DNF are constantly trying to pressure, trying to find an angle.
Morgan?
Yeah, he's just doing his thing. But again, you know, he backs off, he doesn't overstay for the inhibitor tower, he's going to recall, and it just feels like DNF are kind of running around looking for someone to try and target, someone to try and kill, and finding nothing right now. And it's a minute and a half until Infernal Soul.
This is kind of ridiculous. Going back for the reset, making sure that they use their empowered recalls as well.
Oh man, I'm just going to say, there's no way you're going to be able to balance the bucks with the extendo beam once you get the Infernal Soul.
Yeah.
There's just, the budget is just below
it's definitely not budget extendo beam anymore. It is Arc of Ruin. We can actually call it its real name. It does sound pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah.
When it's not Slurkle, it's Arc of Ruin.
Whoa.
Okay? We can actually call it.
I will not have Slurkle slander on this broadcast.
I mean, it's the same button, you know? It's just the altered up version.
I think a lot of our viewers prefer Slurkle.
Should we actually just call it Slurkle, whether it's
to be fair,
whether it's the altered up one or not?
The beam isn't.
It is not a circle at all.
Yeah.
Long circle. Long Slurkle. No, I don't. I don't think it's not even that. It's more of a rectangle, isn't it? When it does come out. So we're just going to call it Arc of Ruin. We're happy with that. 9,000 gold going to be the lead here for the Bros. And yeah, DNF running on fumes, to say the least. Seeing whether they can stop Closer in his tracks here, as Paulo just playing defense, doing so successfully here. Slurkle going to connect on to Quantum. He's able to crash his way out of it. The Bros now grouped up once again, 1 second, and now it's Infernal Soul time. Hype getting to work on this one. They've got so much damage when they do decide to go in here. They don't want Pyosik with any chance of making this happen, and he doesn't. They just burst it down. The ulti from Closer, but it's mitigated by that Zhonya's. But that arcane smash was so good. Akaroon comes down as well. Now it's Hype's time to shine. Gets on top, but actually Berserker shuts down the Yunara just for a couple of seconds before Closer says, no, this is the decade of Closer, and I am sorry, but you are not winning this team fight. Yeah,
just keep
not
running.
Getting out of this one either.
Keep running, bro.
Yeah,
Don't stop. Don't stop.
It is some defecting time here for the Trundle, who decides to sit.
You're not going to be able to make it. No, just keep running.
Well, he might actually.
No.
He's not going to. But still, I mean, he hasn't been touched by the Maokai yet, so that is going to be an execute. And down goes Pyosik, not feeling too happy about it, as you can see.
Did buy time, but yeah, this did not go well. The Maokai ult just stops them from getting close. Stasis from Bulldog buys time, but again, there's just so much damage coming out in return, especially with the Infernal Soul. Pyosik barely surviving there, and then Hype a little bit overzealous, disrespecting the Varus burst, but it doesn't really matter. Berserk kiting into the sapling, unfortunately. And right now, this Yone 8-0-4 with the GA.
He just
4
went,
items and change.
I think he actually just went and bought a full GA and the Vampiric Scepter just all at once.
He is very strong.
He is quite a big boy. They also have Infernal Soul, as you mentioned before. That was going to be problematic, and that is going to continue to be so, as the Baron has spawned and now it's dead.
Oh, you know what's the worst? I mean, I don't think it really matters. I'm going to be honest. But the Infernal Soul saplings, not a good time.
I mean, it's also 3 damage items. 0-0-12 Maokai. As Closer not too worried about Sion and Pyosik.
The reason I don't think the saplings will matter much is because you have to leave your base to walk in brushes. And I don't think that's happening.
Dudu, I don't think he's getting out of this one either. The Unstoppable Onslaught is feeling a bit stoppable here. Is the ulti going to collect 2 of them? Immediate snapback there from Closer, though, who did not want to use up that GA just yet. And the Sion does go down. Nothing Dudu can really do here, unfortunately, even though he is Dudu. My goodness, Hype doing so much work. But Berserker's actually, really starting to hurt. These W-empowered Qs.
I mean, this was clearly the theory, right? This is what DNF wanted if the game didn't completely
fall apart.
Yeah, you know, the range of the Varus, if you can set up, if you can protect him, that poke is a big threat. If Bro couldn't find an engage, you would eventually be able to just whittle them down, but the problem is they are finding those engages, and they're strong enough to force. It doesn't even have to be a flawless engage for them to really find favor, but yeah, he lands that piercing arrow there onto Hype and Polu, and then gets to follow up a bit later.
Yep, gets another one, but we are going to be out of the replay before we get to see that. It's a 14,000 gold lead, and so now, if DNF turn this around, it's about the same as the comeback that Bro had against them in their last matchup.
Yeah, I mean, they'd be redemption for that debt they paid, right?
Now's the time, DNF. Make it happen, as the nature is grasping, and I'm grasping at straws as far as trying to explain that there is a way out here for DNF. It's looking real rough. As down this one goes. There's the flash hook out Apollo as well, as Pyosik nowhere to go, and he will just be wiped out. Hype doing so much damage in this fight. This Lurk will connect, and the answer is immediate there from Closer. And look at these autos from Hype. He's untouched. Empress of Ido will be able to find him down to the GA. Is this Yunara? But that is a zombie Scion that's just going to get wiped out. The knock-up onto Berserker as well, as he is relegated to the fountain. No comeback this time, as the Bros put DNF down here in Game 1.
And the thing is, we've seen a lot of Rise teams struggle to do successful things against DNF in the early game, and it's come down to clutching in the later stages, even Bro. But this time, Bro, clean sailing throughout. Yeah. Felt like they never really gave an in, and they got the Yunara. You know, DNF felt like with the Varus, with the range advantage.
Iklan.
Even it just wasn't a he couldn't stamp the
Whether you're relaxing at home or out and about, make your music move with you. With Premium, you can download your music at higher quality, listen to songs ad-free, and play them in any order. Tap the banner to learn more.
here, as Poppy, Xin Zhao have been taken away. Then the Talia will be the answering ban.
Yeah, Xin Zhao makes a lot of sense with Trundle being taken off the cards.
Yep.
Vi open and available, Wukong open and available, Nico still open and available, which Bro banned last time. So Bro could ban the Nico here and trade the Vi and Wukong. Wukong, at the moment, definitely the one I would say preferred by most teams. That pick's been doing really well. They go in a different direction though and ban away the Ambassador. So Nico's available, Wukong's available, Vi's available, that were all banned away last time. And DNF will prioritize that Wukong, which I think is definitely the right call.
Yeah, I think Wukong does make a lot of sense. They can still threaten the Aurora if the Gwen is going to be locked in, so I don't expect there to be a top lane pickup here for the Bros. But maybe some sort of Vi combination could be coming on through here for Bro.
You know, with the,
they'd like to.
With the Ambessa banned, I mean, could Bro even go like Gwen or Aurora themselves and then...
Oh yeah, true.
Because Close is a mean Aurora, and you deny that counter, you give the Gwen over with the Ambessa gone as well. I mean, I guess they could take the Rumble, so that's still on the card, so maybe they don't go that angle. But I feel like the Rumble matchup not as punishing as the Aurora. But now they'll just go the Vi, so we see that trade in junglers. Not too much surprise there.
Yep. You could just buy Aurora, actually, and then flex the Aurora around to make sure that that Gwen isn't coming in, and then pick the Gwen if they don't...
Buy Aurora, Gwen on 3?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they might go in that direction. This really limits, because if you go Gwen or Rumble here for DM Freaks, you're going to be in with a bad time. And then it sets up that third pick for Bro to be in a really strong spot, so it looks like they might go that angle.
Yeah.
And now DM Freaks have to consider their options here.
See what Dudu does want to do. It is going to be the Rumble. I feel like this is the best of a bad situation, and it is blue side Rumble, which we do like a lot better.
Yeah.
Cyclone and Equalizer together are also a lot of wombo combo just in 2 champions. So let's see what Bulldog is going to do to augment this, as the Aurora could be going towards the top side of the map, and if there is a matchup that they don't really like, they can flex her into the mid lane as well. That's a Viger.
Yeah.
Let's see what Bulldog does actually want to do here.
Honestly, personally, I'd love something like a Rakan here, just because it's always going to get banned second rotation.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not really going to get responded by Bro. But they end up going for the Annie instead, which is something Bulldog has played. I believe he's played this. Actually, I think Close has played it more than Bulldog has, but we'll bring this out very strong with the Wukong. We've seen that combo quite a lot of engaged threat.
Yep.
So a lot of agency from the top side. And now, Bro, we'll see where the Aurora is going. Obviously, it's a great matchup into the Rumble, so they might just stick it in the top lane for Morgan.
Yeah, they could actually put it in both positions if they would like to, or hold on to the flex. Not too bad. And they are just going to lock away the Alistar.
It keeps the pressure up, you know. You have an option that can go into both lanes. It's a great matchup in the Rumble. It means that it's harder for DM Freaks to ban, and now you secure the Alistar, which is so often banned away and denied from that R4 pick, and you can ban away, you know, the Rakan to deny it from that Rakan-Wukong combo we see teams love to get their hands on, but never really get that many chances to do so.
Yep. Let's see what they do decide to take away here, as the Nico is going to be the first ban. Maybe Nico Rakan is going to be taken away here. And DN Freaks a little bit more difficult, as they want to be banning mid lane, top lane, 80 carry, sort of everything.
Probably just have to go for the 80 carry bans.
I feel like Jin does fit this composition quite well.
I think Jin does fit the composition very well.
Jin?
Definitely something that can play at that range, because there is a lot of 80 carry threat, but Jin is that pick who can just sit miles away and contribute. Sivir going to come out. I think Sivir that movement speed and also the spell shield value quite high. Just going to take that one out. It has to be the Rakan here.
Yeah.
And it will be. And I would imagine...
Sivir Jin could just be the bans.
Kai'Sa also, I think, for Hype specifically. Hype has been really big on the Kai'Sa, so it definitely would fit with the composition. So I could see them taking that one away.
If they do lock in the Kai'Sa, it's a lot of magic damage, so maybe that's why they might be shying away from it. Let's see what the bans are going to be here from the DN Freaks, though. As time is ticking, what is the decision going to be, as it is the Kai'Sa ban to actually come on through. So not going to be seeing that one. Could just be a comfortable Jin lock in here and keep the ambiguity going.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you already know the solo laners, so
true.
It's not too much of an issue to kind of show your hand now, but you could also just, if you want to lock in the Jin now, You could take it. You could also take something like the Corki as well, I think would be okay.
Yep.
Something that Hype has played a good amount of. And definitely pretty high prio in the LCK in total, and he will lock that in. Has the Valkyrie, you have a decent amount of range on your rockets, and you have the Valkyrie for a bit of safety, so I think there's some 80 carries in this draft would feel like a sitting duck. I think Corki has some tools to play around with. And also the lane's not too weak, which is one of the concerns, that you lock both your bot laners, and one of them is an Alistair. If you have a weak laner, it could be a little concerning when you don't know what you're playing into, especially with the consideration that DM Freak's looking at a Lucian, so could just end up here being the Lucian Braum. Definitely not the funnest lane to play Alistair into.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good round out of this draft, and the Gwen will be locked away. Made it all the way through. Not exactly the most fun matchup, especially into blue side Rumble. So Morgan going to have his work cut out for him.
And I feel like DM Freaks kind of held their nerve and kind of were like, okay, well, yes, you can flex the Aurora, but we don't think you're going to, and they didn't. And now it's a matchup that Dudu's pretty fine with into the Gwen. The Aurora in the mid lane, I think you're fine with having the Wukong Annie. Honestly, I think Wukong Annie higher prior right now in the LCK. The bot lane matchup, Lucian Braum into Corki, Alistair's good early matchup. So I think DM Freaks, all things considered, they kind of held their nerve. They picked champions that are, they're comfortable with, and despite this flex looming over, it didn't really come to fruition. So I think DNF pretty happy with how things panned out overall. But Bro still have some good tools under the belt.
Yep. I think that Bro's composition certainly snowballs extraordinarily hard, right? The Vi...
Imagine bringing your side project to life just by thinking about it. Meet Base 40.
Looks very similar to what we saw Gen G absolutely dominate with earlier in the week as well. I believe that was yesterday. So we'll see whether they can pilot it to a similar effect, because a lot of these lanes we're feeling pretty happy with. But the Bros in the last game just looked like the better team. So is that going to be what rings true here in our second match, or is it a 3-gamer? I hope it is. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for the second game of this series. DNF just playing for pride at this point, but the Bros, they are playing to make sure that they can lock in a position in the play-ins. Remember, the bottom two teams here in the Rise group will be eliminated. No chance of getting to the playoffs whatsoever. And there are 3 positions in the play-ins available.
Yeah, and realistically, with how things are now, Bro is the only team in the top 3 of Rise really under threat. I think BNK Fear-X, I don't think they're mathematically safe, but it's one of those situations where they're in a very comfortable spot.
Yep.
Whereas Bro, they are under real threat. If they lose this series, they start to lose more, they could go under, and DRX could close the distance. BNK Fear-X, yeah, again, they're not mathematically locked, but a very crazy timeline would have to happen for them to end up in 4th from 2nd right now with 11 wins, so.
All right, Paulo gonna place himself here in this brush as Berserker and Life waiting for an opportunity here. Berserker does give away his position in that brush. I think they're pretty sure that Life is going to be there as well. Nice piercing light, as Life will be able to find the Winter's Bite.
It's going to be a lane where Polo and Hype are on the back foot. Especially we saw nerfs to Corki in the early game. He got a little boost in terms of his ratios and his ult and his Q, but his early Q damage did go down a bit. It's not too much of a concern in the early trading, but it does just mean a little bit less wave clear, a little bit less trading power, and you're already on the back foot in this lane, so definitely more focused on farming up and just playing it safe, especially as you have that cleanse into barrier. So if you go in for a heavy trade, and Lucian just barriers, you're going to be for an even worse time in terms of where the health ends up.
Yep. And I think this mid lane is going to be a pretty important place as Pureshik making his way in already at level 3. The flash out from closer, but the follow is going to be there. The flash forward, and there is the first blood going over to Bulldog. Right as I was saying that this was going to be a point of power for the Bros, Pureshik comes in and says, no, it's not.
Such a great gank angle and such a great timing, because I feel like if you gank even slightly later, once Closer has level 3, and look at his XP bar, how close he is. If he has his W, that gank just doesn't work. You maybe get the flash, but you don't get the kill. But he finds the angle, he comes in, the stun is set up by Bulldog, and it's pretty perfectly played. Again, the stun is there, he doesn't have that dash, he doesn't have that invisibility, he has to flash immediately, but the Wukong's there to follow, and he feels safe, he's leaning towards his top side because that's where his jungler is.
Yeah.
They even have a ward on Raptors, so he's thinking, okay, give it 5-10 seconds, I'm gonna see the enemy Wukong on that ward, I'm perfectly safe. But instead, Yoshik finds a great angle to loop around. It's really well played and a great start. And a lane that you don't often manage to find ganks, especially as a Wukong onto an Aurora early on.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, Wukong is generally known as one of these champions that does like to hit level 6 before anything really happens. Speaking of which, Croco also going to make his way in as Bulldog just gets himself out of there. Stun at the ready, so not under too much threat, just trying to be annoying. Double Scuttle looking to come in here, though, as Pyroshik will pay for his early aggression just a little bit. First Blood, though, going to make him feel pretty happy nonetheless. But as you can see, I mean, gold-wise, Croco, as we saw, he was just doing the Raptors while Closer was dying. And that has actually paid off, as the gold in the jungle position is absolutely even.
Yeah, Swap coming in now, though, which is exactly what Bro want. You can see the top lane matchup, Morgan having a rough time here. Is keeping up well in CS, though, so credit to him despite the health condition. But bot lane was also on the back foot, so this swap could not come any sooner. And
this is not looking great either for Morgan to make his return.
I will say he does have exhaust, so maybe if Croco can come down, can give him some assistance.
Yeah, it could be an option. You can see Hype and Polo just going to try and zone Dudu away as best they can, especially with Polo now joining the lane. But it's in a pretty decent spot here for Dudu. As you can see, it's going to be pretty balanced, and Hype is going to be hitting these minions, so that means that it will be pushing towards the Rumble pretty comfortably.
Yeah, and he's not too far away from 6, won't get out of these minions, but once he does hit it, I feel like that's one of the things with Rumble in these swap situations, is eventually you can kind of just ult the wave and play defensive. This, though, Croco's actually moved up towards his top side, and Morgan's isolated, and Annie is moving down, so Morgan's not getting the protection. He's on his own.
Yep, he's going to have to try and be a Gwen is immune type situation here, but it is getting real rough. There is the concussive blows, and Life comfortably tanks up that turret. A beautiful dive, and they'll be rewarded with plates as well. And Berserker picking up that kill, going to be huge here for DNF. Headbutt Pulve is going to connect onto Dudu, but he is just going to take a little bit of damage, otherwise be absolutely fine. And the answers here for the bros just aren't...
Oh no.
Why Morgan, why are we doing this? The exhaust does come on through, but he's just dead again. Yeah, I don't know. There's a nice little headbutt, and they will be able to answer. No, never mind. Dudu is just going to keep himself alive, and he holds the wave away from the turret at the same time. Oh dear. This has not gone very well for the bros.
Oh, the slow!
Hype is just going to pick it up with a fast bomb. I actually thought that maybe it was just going to be all over, but that is going to be a plate going over to at least Closer in that mid lane. But Pyroshik will be taking down this dragon. It's Feats of Warfare already completed for DNF. Oh, 3 games are looking so good.
I mean, this is just so well executed. Just the walk up, slow play, get the passive on. Everyone dives inside the Shroud, stuns up, and then the call to TP back in. Such a mistake, and you can see DNF already waiting around.
Ward.
Yeah, and the thing is, the same play comes out. This time, Bulldog tanks, and he just starts to walk out towards the back end, really easily done. Here, I was kind of talking about, Dudu ends up hitting the level 6, ults most of the wave, and then here, able to just survive long enough to flash away with the extra movement speed, stalls the wave out. And the thing is, yes, he ends up going down here, but he has TP as well. So this is just a much better situation than what Morgan ended up in.
Yeah.
And you can see, you know, look at the bot laners. I think, you know, you look top lane, there's not that much of a lead in favor of Dudu, but look at the bot laners. Berserk is 700 gold ahead of Hype right now. 20 CS and a kill lead. That is not how you want this bot lane matchup to have gone.
You certainly do not. As Life puts up the door here. And this was already a fine matchup for Berserker, and now it's looking even better. That Essence Reaper so incredibly close for this Lucian. He was managing to weave a lot of piercing lights through Hype, which is working very, very nicely. Not end of the world or anything like that for the Bros, but it's a great start here for DNF.
Life actually getting level 6 before Berserker, which, you know, it's just funny because it's so rare we see the support getting level 6 first, but he's ready to rumble.
He certainly is. As Pioshik going to be starting up these grubs. Information there for the Bros, as we do see a question mark ping on the grub camp. Morgan coming up just to try and eat some honey fruit, keep himself healthy. His close is going to be rotating over.
I don't think he can contest this, you know. Dudu still has TP.
Yep.
Morgan doesn't. Morgan has no way to stop Dudu's TP as well.
Hype and Polo are holding the wave as well, so there is no way.
And there's just no way to contest this. So, I mean, it's the right call from Bro, but it kind of shows how this game has quickly gone in a pretty uncomfortable position. Dudu, even the calls made, it's like, guys, they're not contesting us on the top side.
Oh, yeah, ulti going to connect there onto Hype as Polo just going to play defense. So the ult not necessarily working out here as the Winter's Fight does also go wide.
Berserker, when he dashed in, he only had 70 mana, because I think he was looking for an ult on a Hype there. Didn't quite have enough. But I love this play from Dudu. He ults the wave. He knows, guys, we're clear on grubs. They might make a play bot side, so he ults the wave, backs away, and look, Morgan and Croco are hanging around for him. He does walk up here, though.
Yeah, he actually just basically said hi to Croco without seeing him, and then just continued to the wave. Pretty cute. Let's see whether they can actually make this dive work. Of course, there is no ulti for Dudu. Double teleports coming in as Closer is down here as well. They're going to see whether they can take out Dudu before that teleport completes, and they will be able to do so as Closer goes between the worlds, but it's a double teleport. The double pole is also fantastic, but under the turret they go as there's the snip from Morgan to lock down another kill. The Aurora will be going down, but it's a trade up for the Bros. At least they can hold on to that.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a caster curse coming out there, which Chronicler would tell you doesn't exist. Well, there's evidence.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of evidence, don't worry.
Dudu feels like he's safe. It's like, guys have double TPs to cover this, but it comes in just a bit too late. Again, he doesn't have the equalizer this time around. He used to clear the wave earlier. They clear him out and basically get away, but then they opt to stay in because they bring Polo in. The Alistair can obviously tank for so long, and Pioshik gets there to try and help with the cleanup late, but I mean, Bro got so much from this. And this was a situation where I think Bro were very kind of disconnected from the flow of the game. It felt like they just weren't really able to find anything, and now that was a big influx of gold. But yeah, Wukong and Annie been doing pretty well in the Rise group.
They certainly have. It's an interesting time to bring it up, though, after there was a little bit of a flub in DNF, a little bit of the tempo going back in the favor of the Bros. I would say that the vibes are still there for DNF.
Maybe it's like a bit of encouragement, like, don't worry, DNF, guys.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, the DNF fans here at Lolpark especially have just been so incredibly vocal. Every time a player came back to sit down in their chair ready to play, there was a huge round of applause for each individual player as they were sitting down. It was just incredibly heartwarming to see here from the DNF fans in Korea.
That's the sort of thing that means so much to the players as well when you have been having a rough split.
Yeah.
And you can tell that, like, it's been tough. It's been rough for DNF and the players, but they've never given up.
Nope. Pioshik also now has his Trinity Force done. There was that initial spike of the Sundered Sky for Croco a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But now at least that's met.
Wukong's in this weird spot because obviously a lot of the junglers in the meta are really abusing Sundered Sky, and he does, it comes later, but that 2-item spike from him is so insane. So, you know, Croco a bit gets that spike earlier, but when Pioshik hits 2 items, he will be cooking.
Yep, it's kind of ludicrous. Oh, Earth, Wind, and Fire might be the option here, as the Bros are going to be starting off this second dragon of the game. Feats of Warfare were completed very early here for DNF, but Feats of Strength haven't quite been confirmed just yet. Just one objective or turret, and they will be able to lock that one down. As Pioshik is in position, there is Earth, Wind, and Fire confirmed. That's fantastic. Polo going to be moving over as Morgan with the needlework, looking to try and take down some Tibbers. As Polo is in a bit of trouble. He does have the Unbreakable Will, but it's not going to last forever, and it's only level 1. There's the Cyclone, and the immediate double kill does come in. Closer, can he make it happen? The answer is no, because he's exhausted, and that's just 3 on the floor for the Bros. DNF pull it right back.
so well played. Polu, again, is there to defend. He's exactly in the right place, but there's just not enough backup. Croco's not in position, closes a little late, and the cleanup is so well played by DNF. Especially like doing everything to set up Berserker there. The exhaust was great, just to deny the burst damage from the Aurora. And everything's going swimmingly for DNF in this one, other than that little hiccup in the bot lane.
And there is no vision here for the Bros, by the way. All of their vision is on bottom side to try and get them that second dragon.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is Polu thinking, okay, 2v2, we got this. More come in, he's like, I'm an Alistair, but the thing is, the damage reduction at level 6 isn't actually that high, so they're still doing a good amount to him, and they weren't taking tower aggro, so they then just cleaned up those 2 kills, and here the exhaust comes through from Life with the shield as well to stop the burst from finishing him off, and then Berserker just cleans it up when he has no cooldowns. Just really well played.
Yep, gorgeously done. I think that exhaust got so much value. That could have been closer just nabbing a couple of kills, but wasn't the case. As the Bros well and truly on the back foot now, as you can see, 2.3k, the gold advantage.
We get the little dip, you know, and then the big upswing, right?
Oh, and now we just need to make sure that this is not history repeating itself, because there was a time that we did see Bro make a bit of a comeback in this matchup. I don't really like reminding everyone of it, but it could be happening once again. Last time around, certainly a few more stakes in it, as DNF weren't actually defeated as okay. There's the Vault Breaker flash. Is Bulldog just going to be executed? They'll take Tibbers as well for a bit of 50 gold on top. And that's a kill going over to Morgan there at the same time. So nice little pick back. It's going to close that gold gap just a little.
Kind of just explode him, you know. Good setup there from Croco to find that kill. And again, just a little answer back. Not too significant overall, but picks like that will make a difference if you get enough of them.
Morgan getting a little scary now. The only one with a gold advantage on the Bros.
Yeah, it's just really hard with the flash coming in to lay the CC. There's just a limited response here. You can even see that, you know, Pyoshik and Life were in the vicinity, but when it's that quick, there's just not a ton you can do.
Yep. As Croco now looking to do it again. Doesn't have cease and desist available, as there is a control ward here.
No.
Yeah, Bro just going to set up the teleport and equalizer just to deal with the wave. Dudu knows that he's dead. Not even going to use the flash or anything like that. Morgan comes down. Pyoshik going to be answering this with feats of strength. Actually going to be completed earlier with that turret falling down in the mid lane. It's a big investment from the Bros.
This is not a good trade for the Bros right now. You're losing 2 towers. You're losing the Herald. This is not working out too favorably, and the fact that Dudu gets the ult the wave as well. I mean, look how healthy that tower is. You know, Morgan's not getting
they didn't do damage
value. Yeah, so you know, yes, you ruined Dudu's scoreline. I'm sure he's really sad about that, but
I mean, the gold didn't actually expand. Like Morgan was on like 600 ahead. Now it's only 550.
Yeah. So I think Dudu making the right call in this situation. Just slam the equalizer. He knows his fate. Doesn't burn anything. Doesn't burn the flash.
Well, Morgan is now going to be able to take the turret,
yeah,
so there's at least that.
I guess holding the TP as well is the main. Dudu could have TP'd there to defend the tower, but they opt not to use it to defend the tower, instead saving that for later. I will say one thing that's kind of come out of this. You know, we talked about the Aurora being a flex, being able to potentially answer the Rumble. Even though it wasn't a lane matchup, Closer's now laning into Dudu, and Dudu is not having a fun time.
Yeah.
Oh, Rift Herald. They're going to get the entire outer ring of turrets very comfortably here. DNF keeping up the tempo nicely as Life in position, just to be frustrating. And the Bros just want to catch Shelly as she's making her way through, deny that extra charge. That will actually come on down. So she's at least not going to soften up the inner turret. But now the map has become so much smaller here for the Bros, so much less space to work with. As Bulldog clearing out a lot of this excess vision. Next straight going to be up in 9 seconds time. This is well played from DNF. This is the time of the game that they have been pretty good at.
Yeah.
Ya, sama-sama.
Yeah, definitely feels like this is the point where they've had leads, and this is more what we expected. Game 1 felt like a bit of an outlier because...
All right, Closer looking for Dudu here. As, all right, there's a vibe. Cease and desist comes on through, and Croco tanks up the turret for about a year and is very happy to do so. Now he's going to look for a little bit of a reset. Life going to be moving up here towards this top side. An opportunity to head towards the dragon. That's exactly what Pyoshik is going to do.
not a good place to be, it feels like, for DNF, is that top lane tower. Just another good punish from Croco. Will sacrifice the dragon, but they get this tier 1 tower, and it feels like just these little picks, these answers, Croco setting up plays and finding things, punishing people on the side is working out pretty favorably overall. Dudu didn't even get a chance to ultimate there to clear out the wave. And sure, it gives over the dragon, but it's a long way away from Soul right now for DNF, so I think Bro making some good moves there. Again, keeping the gold lead close. I mean, compared to game 1, where it's that constant flow upwards, this is going to be a very jerky gold grab.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Like, as far as triaging the disadvantage that they did have in this game, doing a decent job. Still, don't want to take anything away from DNF. They are in still so much control, so much power in this game. So we're going to have a look at this one more time. Croco just making it impossible for Dudu to be able to do anything at all.
Yeah, I think, honestly, Bro have done a pretty good job of just assessing when there's a side of the map we're not interested in. Let's do something on the other side.
Yeah.
Just a snappy response that, in fairness, DNF haven't done a bad job of like being aware of that, but just when you're a little slow, when you're a little behind, you end up getting punished. It's happened twice already this game. They need to be on the watch out for that.
Well, here's a fight for the red buff, as the Bros, I think, are about to just give it up. Yeah, DNF going to be able to claim their prize. So no red buffs available here for Bro. And Croco was actually looking to try and answer, but there is no red buff on the other side. So
Gwen is just Gwenning, though. That is something I'm a little worried about.
Yeah, there is a bit of snipping going down towards the bottom side of the map. 1.6k is a considerable lead.
Yeah, I will say, though, part of it is because Dudu is really starved. So, like, if we compare...
Yeah, it doesn't have a massive amount of money, but has way more than Dudu, as he's dead again. The exhaust goes down. Morgan able to dash away from that last turret. Oh, Bulldog comes in and just says goodbye. And down goes the Gwen. Another stun is going to connect here onto Croco as well, as the Bolt Breaker is blocked gorgeously here by Bulldog. As Croco not even going to be allowed to flash away. Pioshik says goodnight. And that's a 1 for 2. Dudu pretty happy about sacrificing himself. I mean, he's not even worth all that much gold anymore, I could imagine.
Yeah, and a good response comes in from Bulldog. The flash as well to secure the kill onto the jungler. Well played there to get the 2, so more gold influx there. And it's just repeated punishes, answers in the side lane from Croco. Eventually, DNF find the response that makes them pay. And yeah, the point I was saying is that Morgan's closing in on 2 items, but you compare, Berserker's almost got his 3rd, and his 3rd's an IE, which is an expensive item, so his Lucian is very strong.
Yeah, he's been the main benefactor of this one. That lead is not really answered.
Yeah, you can see total gold. So, like, even though Gwen has a massive lead, her gold's kind of in line with, like, a lot of her team. Whereas on the other side, everyone on DNF, apart from Dudu, is pretty far ahead, and Berserker's really, really far ahead.
Yep. Probably just going to be denied it back here.
It's basically support Rumble vibes is what we're getting at the moment.
Yeah. It's not exactly equalized, unfortunately. As he's Rumble. Probably something that should be. So they go for this dive. Last time the dive worked out pretty well. This time around, doesn't quite work. Equalizer once again fantastic because he doesn't lose that much as far as minions are concerned.
Yeah, and also
at least there's that.
The slows that came through, just making sure that when Bulldog does get there, very easy to answer Morgan and then able to follow up on Croco. And Pioshik just makes sure that Croco, I think, was expecting him to try and get the flash over to the Dragon Pit. Doesn't let that happen.
Yep. Very nicely done. 40 CS, sorry, 30 CS, going to be the lead for Berserker as well, who has just been kind of dominating in the neutral game that's been going on as there's been insanity in the side lanes. Still, the gold lead hasn't really extended that much over the last 7-odd minutes, something like that. An Arakan fight might be on the menu. Oh my goodness.
When in doubt, just start Arakan.
Exactly. I think that that's exactly what both teams should be doing right now. Just starting Arakan, because why not?
Yeah. Life gets it.
He gets it, man. It's probably just been sitting in the coach's booth, you know, hanging out with Rapid Star, and Rapid Star's like, why aren't we just starting Arakan at all times?
Is bot lane, which Bro are unaware of, but it's a dangerous position to be in when Arakan is very much on the opposite side of the map.
Yep. He might even be tempted to take a red buff as well, but it looks like that's not going to be punished. Oh, goodness me. Okay, there is an Infinity Edge completed. Berserker is out of control.
Yeah, and Bro, I mean, they have decent setup around the Arakan. Croco's on, Pioshik's on bot side, but they just didn't have the information, so they don't start it. Which I get, like, they are behind, they don't really have the confidence to go for that, but It's just one of these situations where I feel like Piershik's been a little greedy, you know, picking up those camps, hanging around there. But just bro don't know, so what they don't know can't really act on.
No.
But they've devoted so much focus and attention up to this Arakan, whereas DNF,
I think they need to start it or
need
do
to do
something.
because they're giving up control of the Dragon area, and Dragon's up at 15.
Yep, and it's going to be Soul Point as well.
Yeah, if you just let them take Dragon, and all you're doing is moseying on around Arakan, then it's really not going to work out favorably.
Well, now you got Piershik moving up here towards the Arakan. There's still that one ward in the Baron Pit. That's about all they've got, as the Drake is going to spawn. Morgan gets the shove towards the bottom side of the map. Dudu will be catching that wave. The gold lead for the Gwen is still definitely there. 1 level advantage as well. So he's scary. Teleport at the ready, so he can come up here, try and make something happen. As Polo not too worried about getting stunned up by an Annie or anything like that. Piershik looking for an angle towards Croco here, as Closer could also be in trouble. Tries to go between the worlds, but he's just stunned up. And that is a dead Aurora before she can do anything at all. Does do a bit of AoE damage, I guess, but here it's Arakan time for DNF. And the bros, do they have an answer? That's the question. Hype off to the side, kind of awkward position here for this Corki as he's looking to chase down Bulldog. Does do a lot of damage, but there is the response. And he was just alone. The rest of the team had already backed away.
Yeah, that felt very desperate. And Berserker, so strong, so quick, just to dash over and basically two-tap him.
Yeah.
I think Bro spent so much time hanging around the top side, never really did anything, and then they're the ones to get collapsed on. So DNF have to take the Arakan there, now can look towards the Dragon as well.
It's a big advantage at the same time. Bro really getting punished for their indecision. And this is actually something that DNF have been doing pretty consistently in their matches as well. They have sort of this paralyzing moment at the end of the mid-game, but that's exactly what Bro are going through.
I think with the engage tools Bro have, if they just started the Arakan at any point in the last like 2 minutes, I think it would have gone better than this.
Yeah.
And even if the game had just been lost off the back of it, well, it's okay, you tried, but this just felt like such a...
And if Hype is going in, he needs the rest of his team to decide to go in as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, everyone from DNF was just like, what is he doing? Let's just kill him. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Let's just kill the Arakan now. And then it was just such a weird situation. The thing is as well, he could have just backed away. He wasn't forced to go in there.
Nope.
He was very weird. But yeah, now DNF, we've had a lot of up and down in this game. They've finally sort of gotten a more major lead, right? They have the Arakan buff in pocket. 3 dragons now, 1 away from Soul.
Yeah, the pendulum has stopped swinging. It is now just in DNF's favor as Closer to go between the worlds here, and does just put himself in a very uncomfortable spot.
Yeah.
I'm going to say unforced error on that one, as Dudu wants to get the kill. Piershik is going to deny it.
There was definitely a way in which he could completely escape that situation, and that was not it.
It was not.
Yeah, especially he burned you could just flash out the right side of his ult and he's gone.
Yeah, something, maybe not year of Closer.
Well, we got the game of Closer.
We did get the game of Closer, that's true. Probably should have left it at that. As Croco on a little bit of a flank angle here.
Well, they find Bulldog. This could be a pick.
Could be an opportunity, as Tibbs is going to give away the position. It's a pretty optimistic Baron start as the culling comes through. That's a massive pulverize as Hype trying to keep himself alive. He's not going to be successful, but it is Berserker going down as well. And unfortunately, these wallets be heavy. And DNF, they just lose Berserker. Croco wasn't even interested.
Yeah, I mean, you see so much effort is put into taking down the Lucian. They finally get him. Their Corki's already dead. The rest of their team just getting demolished. So many people left alive on DNF. Croco's looking, but against an Annie, I'm not sure you're going to be able to find an angle to get close to that Baron. DNF healthy enough to slowly take this one, and yeah, Bulldog is playing bouncer, so it's going to be Baron secured here.
Yep, very nicely done. Locked up here by DNF, and they are not dropping the ball this time around.
Yeah, so, I mean, essentially...
Oh, do we have to?
If you're going to commit flat, just flash over the right here, but then he E'd backwards into it and then flashes over the left, which is just bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bit of an oopsie.
I would put it in the cons column.
But here, so Croco finds this great engage on a Berserker with the knockup from Polo. Hype's there to follow up. But again, they commit everything to kill this Lucian, and they just trade AD carries and everyone just gets cleaned up immediately. It's like,
I like Croco was like, I've used my buttons, I'm out of here.
If Berserker was the Nexus, that would have been a great play. But he's not. And killing him doesn't win you the game. It doesn't even win you the fight. And the end result is they lose the fight, they lose the Baron. And DNF, 5,000 gold ahead with Baron in pocket, are in a pretty... Oh, no, Croco.